channel.
Another one for you as we continue our 2025 May event. I apologize for the noise in the background. There are some people doing some kind of construction, and fortunately I can't drown out the noise without drowning out my own voice. So bear with me, folks. Hopefully you won't hear too much of it. Now getting back to it. This one did so well last year, we figured we'd give you another one. I'm talking, of course, of the God match. In this God's match, where it's going to be a anything goes here type of fight. Let me explain how we run this event. We discuss the background of both characters' feats, make an argument on both sides, and then determine one clear winner. Y'all ready? Here we go. In this corner, representing Marvel Comics, the Egyptian god himself, Khonshu. He's an Egyptian nocturnal ancient god of the moon vengeance, to be exact, and was considered the greatest god of the great gods. His standard feat is that he can lift around 60 tons, has superhuman durability, decent healing factor, teleportation capabilities, able to harness the power of mystic energies, telepathy, able to create earthquakes, resurrecting the dead, and has a super genius intellect. To get his powers to truly be tested, he grants a human a chance to be his avatar, and with this partnership he allows the avatar to do some serious stuff with his newfound powers. Able to wield a lunar materials, aka lunakinesis, aka what Thor's hammer is made out of. He also is a little bit petty, not being invited to join the Stone Age Avengers, and because of this created his first Moon Knight avatar because he wanted to be, he was salty about it, and still has a grudge on the current Avengers as well. Khonshu's always defeated Ra. That's I'm not sure if it's Ramada or Ram. I'm guessing it's just Ra. No matter what the time they were in. This is another powerful being that matches his level. At one point he defeated Black Panther, who has Bast, the Panther god, in his corner, and even shackled him up in some chains. Now I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, but I could be wrong. I believe Bast is a relative or a brother of Khonshu, so that's interesting, because he used to be Egyptian and then he went to Africa. He takes on beings like Seth and Mephisto, and some of his more power up the feats are this. Okay, sorry, tongue twister. One time, Kang was attempting to collect an artifact in the past to keep his time traveling capabilities with no limits, including without tech. But if he accomplished this goal, he would have serious repercussions on the entire universe. But luckily, Khonshu brought Moon Knights from several timelines to help stop this incredible threat, and they did thanks to the incredible might of Khonshu's might and power. He once got the weapons of all the Avengers thanks to Moon Knight, and then took over Manhattan, renaming it Thieves. The only way they could get it back was to have Moon Knight take on Khonshu with the combined forces of the Phoenix Force. Okay, basically this god will have you hoping there isn't a full moon to avoid having to spar with him. Alright, now in this corner, representing DC Comics itself, the Thunder God himself, the Wizard Shazam. Now, he has some moderate feats, such as he has super strength and speed, he's amazing, he has an amazing agility, flight capabilities, accelerated healing factor, and stamina. He's almost invulnerable to physical or magical attacks. He can even teleport, he can hear your thoughts and manipulate it. He has divine guidance, making him a whiz. See what I did there? At strategizing to the point where it always works out to his favor. He can be at multiple places at once with his omnipotent presence. Sorry if I'm saying that with a tongue twister. He obtains his power from divine forces, meaning his power is literally limitless. He can do anything he wants, as his powers have no restrictions. Great examples of that is the one time he named a prison named the Rock of Eternity that kept the three faces of evil. A three-headed demonic dragon with magic that can form evil into the hearts of human by manipulating their minds. To do this, he had to enter heaven and hell to gather all the supplies to form the Rock of Eternity, meaning he can enter either realm and come back to Earth realm without any difficulties. Another time, he tried his first avatar with Black Adam, and when it didn't work out, he just banished him to the distant star. Not enough? Alright, how about when he captured the 7 deadly enemies of man all by himself and kept them trapped in stones for all eternity. He has them collected on his wall like a mantle. And to bring my point home, he was part of a selected group known as the Quintessence, sorry if I'm saying that weird, Council for the DC entire universe. Yeah, he was a member of that. On the list was Phantom Strange, Highfather, Gathid, hopefully I said that right, and Zeus himself. This group was tasked with monitoring the entire universe of any potential universal threat, and if that doesn't scream godly powers, I don't know what does. Long story short, the Wizard Shazam really has earned the name Thunder God. Alright, now we gotta discuss how one would defeat the other. Let's start off with Khonshu. His super genius intellect is definitely a power play, as having powers of a god but also having the brains to use it to its full potential provides a fighting edge to Khonshu when facing the Wizard Shazam. At some point during a fight, he could examine his challenger and see what drives his power and figure ways to either remove his powers or to avoid being damaged by it entirely. He has defeated Ra multiple times in several different timelines. He clearly has a record of putting godly beings in their place. Don't see how the same rules couldn't apply to the wizard. Khonshu maybe can travel back in time far enough where he faces the wizard in a more weakened state. It's a long shot, but does provide good odds of coming out on top better than his current state. Bring out some of the Avenger weapons he had for a time. Thor's hammer comes to mind, as it is powerful enough to damage a Celestial. Bring that to the fight and puts a dent to the old wizard. It wouldn't be easy to put down, as it took the Phoenix Force to even hurt Khonshu, the force that possesses the power of the multiverse. If he decides to let the avatars do fighting on their behalf and it becomes Moon Knight versus Shazam, some might say Moon Knight doesn't have a chance, but Black Panther also had a god in his corner and still lost to Moon Knight. There is a chance this might happen here. Plus, if it becomes too much for Moon Knight, Khonshu will just bring the other Moon Knights from the other timelines to aid in defeating Shazam. Now, Shazam is tough, but if these Moon Knights could defeat Kang the Conqueror, they could sure defeat the Wizard's champion. Alright, now let's talk about the Wizard Shazam's way, or how he would win. He's much tougher to put down, given it took Spectre draining his power to eventually get the drop on him. A long battle favors him more than Khonshu. He can do more with his powers than Khonshu can. If you think about it, Khonshu relied for a time on avatars before he could actually do his own thing, while the wizard has been getting his hands dirty from the start. The wizard has given his powers to more than one person at a time. While that isn't the case for Khonshu, making the case there are limits to what Khonshu can do. The wizard's powers are divine magic, meaning he can do anything he wants with it. He can grow in size, harness other powers, and even travel to other times. The possibilities are endless, while Khonshu hasn't gotten a chance to show all of that. He too has a weapon of greater power, and that's the Rock of Eternity. If he can get Khonshu there, he could be able to trap him inside. Khonshu has been kept inside of things before, like a statue of himself and so on. So it's not difficult to think he could get trapped in a rock created by the heavens and hell. Bring the avatars. The argument can also be made that he could use the other family members of Shazam to help Billy with his issues of several Moon Knights from different time zones. Several Shazam members spells disaster for Khonshu. Last case I'll make for the wizard is that he was never bound to a realm where Khonshu couldn't just walk around the earth with the humans. This could mean that the wizard could conjure a realm to trap him in, so he would work on him for a bit, and then once he figures the best way to cage him, he can summon it and place Khonshu in it for all eternity. Ultimately, though, we have to determine one clear winner who would win this fight. My pick is going to be the Wizard Shazam. Now you're probably wondering how this is. Well, let me explain. He takes this one because Khonshu is very powerful and smart, but hasn't had his hand in claiming a lot of wins. He's usually relying on his avatar, while the Wizard Shazam before Billy used to throw down himself, and he did some crazy feats on his own, while there is a handful of examples for Khonshu. Examples of relying on Moon Knight when he needed the Avengers weapons, when he wanted to diss the Stone Age Avengers, and even one time got defeated by his own avatar. Granted, Moon Knight had the Phoenix Force to do it, but the fact that Khonshu couldn't stop him or remove his powers just goes to show the wizard has this as he tossed his champion, Black Adam, into the distant star. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, share, like, subscribe. And as always, no purse found. We really appreciate you guys keeping it 800 subs. Peace.